Care Chats. Care Chats with Tanya, Mark, and Nick. Care Chats. Care Chats with Tanya, Mark, and Nick. Grab a mug of care and join us for some Care Chats with Tanya, Mark, and Nick.
Yes, please. We are here with Ifetayo Harvey of the POC. Ife, could you please break that down because it's very magical?
Yes, I know it's a mouthful. The POC Psychedelic Collective, People of Color Psychedelic Collective, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we do education and community building for people of color interested in learning more about psychedelics and the harms of the war on drugs. So we've been doing this work for several years now. A lot of it consists of doing workshops on a lot of the social political issues connected to psychedelics. But we also do resource sharing, so teaching people how to heal themselves, how to heal their communities, exposing them to different modalities of healing. So that's a little bit about the collective.
Thank you for sharing. I know that we connected with you through Tanya Mark. I wonder if you could both share a little bit about how you met. How this magical connection happened.
Aw, Ife, may I get it started, and then you can fill in the. Please jump in.
Mhm.
So I would say early on in our lockdown time of COVID, there was an organization around at the time, the Ancestor Project, and at that time I was also volunteering for Fireside. Ancestor Project, wonderful organization, did a lot of service work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Fireside, actually, y'all, is a support line for people who are actively working with psychedelics or would like to process prior trips. So, a very important part of, I believe, queerness and living in this world. And so through there, Aoife and I found one another, actually, I think through a Fourth Sunday Circle. And then we kind of have been swimming in waters, right, Aoife, through our organizations, but not just that, on a personal level. So, Aoife, you want to kind of come in and fill in some gushiness here?
Yes, Tanya Mark. You have been a part of the coalition, the Psychedelic Alliance for Healing and Justice, also known as POJ. And this was a project of mine that I started back in 2022. And the aim of it was to combine shared power for a lot of the grassroots organizations, a lot of the workers, therapists, healing workers, all kinds of folks to come together and build and share resources. And I remember early on, you pushed me to step into my leadership more, and also just incorporate more care into how I show up. And this has been a ongoing journey, practice, because we live in a society that doesn't center care, right? A lot of us are taught that our survival means ignoring our needs and our emotions. And so, meeting someone like Tanya Mark, who's like, nah, we gotta we gotta
Aw.
ground, we gotta pause, we
Aw.
gotta stop, It's a reminder of how, so many of our movements, whether that be like healing work or activism, it burns us out because we're not incorporating care. We're not doing those care checkpoints. We're not, debriefing on an emotional, mental level. And so, yeah, I've been influenced. um, yeah, and it's something that I have to work toward, So it's an ongoing journey. I don't think I'll ever get to a point where I'm just like 100%, that doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
I think
For
that's
sure.
something we have to push back against. It's like
Mm.
this fully healed version of ourselves that exists somewhere. But it's been cool to be exposed to this idea from you, Tanya, Mark, that we can build while also caring and taking care of ourselves. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Oh, Shay. Yeah, y'all, and like getting to know Aoife, like, I say this all the time when we're in connection, outside of, like our community work, like Aoife is their intention behind being of service and sharing care in a way that, oh my Dios, I'm like, this is our future generation. Thank you so much. The mindfulness that you put into the organizations and the time and space that you spend in and with those organizations, with our planet, with plants, with making soaps, with all the things that you create. I'm like, holy shit, we are so lucky. And so I think us coming together in that way and finding alignment, right, with ourselves as well as Queer Spirit, Nick and I really, it's all about care, man. It's care, 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 care. Yeah, so thanks for asking us that, Nick. That's so sweet for us to go down memory lane.
I want to come back to Ife, the way you were describing what Tanya Mark was bringing in, and I really want to highlight that and maybe create some blushing for Tanya Mark. But that's also something that I've learned from Tanya Mark is this. I know, but it's really important. And I think it's important for our listeners and for the world to hear this. And, this basically what we're doing is we're decolonizing the way that we gather and the way that we meet. And I think a lot of us in business settings and even organizations, even, all different kinds of organizations, even if they're like doing good for the world, they just rush into like these meetings and, get it done. And, we have to work fast. And, even with the organizations that Tanya Mark and I meet with, we always say, hey, we're going to start with just a grounding. And they're like, oh, okay, I guess I they're surprised, they're taken aback, but then at the end of it they're like, wow, that was so great, it's so needed. And I was just going from like meeting to meeting to meeting. And what I was thinking of as you were describing it, Ife, is, so I'm going to do a little disclosure. I like to watch like home repair shows and stuff like that. And there's this one that I watched that I really like. It's this guy and he remodels like people's backyards and creates these really beautiful oases. But he works with his teenage daughter, and they're often using like, big heavy equipment and moving big heavy objects. And, his motto when it comes to that, he always says, remember to take it slow, because slow is safe and safe is fast. And I think that's really kind of what I'm feeling here. It's like when we slow down, we create more safety. And when we feel safer, we can actually be more efficient and effective.
Thank you all for all that sweetness. I, in my introspection, have really in prayer and meditation time, what has been coming through is when we make space for care, care makes space for us. And I feel so seen and received in that way. And it really is true. Like, I think in addition to water, like care is another primary fluid that runs through me. And it's something that I understand on a deep level. And I just want to acknowledge all of the fucking mentors, educators, folks that have come along my path that have, and I think in their own way, always invited the key word for me to find my own algorithm of that. Mm-hmm. And my iteration of care includes connection to source, my iteration of what that means as well, and connection to the planet and connection to who I am and, the parts of me that I'm becoming, each and every day. So yeah. I appreciate both of you so much, Ife, you and I have been talking about the importance of storytelling, music, and care. Do you want to like kind of lead into that a bit and share a little behind the scenes for folks about what we get into and what we're about to share with our communities?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes. So you and I were talking about how as young people, as teenagers, we got into movement oriented activities like sports, or music oriented activities like band, chorus, that kind of thing. And we were reflecting on how impactful those things were for us and how they kept us grounded, but also help develop leadership and those relational skills. And so we're planning our care chat, right? That's going to be in a few weeks, and we were talking about how do we pair, the healing qualities of music with the healing qualities of storytelling. And there's so many ways to do it. And I find that music is such a healing balm for so many situations. And one aspect I love about music is the storytelling. Like songs that specifically tell a story that's like it follows a plot, right? And so how can we come together to experience like the somatic healing of music and sound, and also kind of unpack the story being told. What are the things that the musician is conveying to us? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's so much care that happens here, you all. I want to connect the dot and reconnect the dot for you all. So, what we are doing, the three of us, me, Aoife, and Nick, right now, is a care chat. And where Aoife and I are coming together is that part of Queer Spirit, I have been honored to be facilitating Fourth Sunday Care Circle, which has been happening since late 2020, early 2021, which is an online virtual care circle. Aoife and I are coming together for Fourth Sunday Circles, y'all, to share about exactly all of the beautiful medicine that just pretty much like you sang and it like flowed out of you, Aoife. You're like, we shall be doing this. So I think y'all should just like hit rewind and everything that Aoife said.
Oh man. Whew. There's so much that I could say about music and its impact, but I really like this idea of us coming together, healing in like a nonverbal way, and then healing in like this verbal processing information way, right? Something my mentor said to me some years ago that stayed with me was we have to get used to a culture of being. And that I was like, what are you talking about? Because I was telling her about this meeting I was preparing for. I was over prepared, over planning to cope with my nervousness or anxiousness about the meeting. So I'm focusing on all this information sharing, telling all these people these things. And she's like, hold up, slow down. Like you need to like just get used to being around these people. Ask people why they're here. What do you want out of this space? And I feel that that applies to so many situations, just this culture of being. Some of us are so quick to do or information share. And I think that's why a lot of us are struggling with community right now, is because we're in the age of information. And a lot of this technology that we have access to has its perks, but I also think it can be a little isolating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that's part of our motivation too, is to bring people together and just enjoy the simple thing of just being around one another, and just how powerful that can be.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love this idea of trying to counterbalance that by bringing in story, especially story inside of song, because it's kind of like, it reminds me of like mythic poetry and that kind of thing. And the way that stories were passed down, they would often put them to song so that they were easier to remember, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so, and it's also a way, especially with those kind of stories and myths, that people feel some kind of connection and relationship to it in some way, because they use these archetypal stories and symbols and situations that people can relate to in these ways. And I'm glad that you both are bringing these to a care circle together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Aoife and I are coming together for fourth Sunday Care Circles, and we are playing with this beautiful algorithm of theme of offering it at different times, maybe with different energies. So our first fourth Sunday circle is coming up on April 26th. It will be at 9 a.m. PT, 12 p.m. ET, and it's going to have a rising vibe. A rising vibe, rising, and kind of a little bit of taste of noonish vibe. And then we'll come back together in May on the 24th at 10 a.m. PT, 1 p.m. ET for some brunch vibes. I'm just saying we might get a bit gospely here, Aoife. You know it. I know it. So there's a good possibility that Spirit's like, yeah, let's go. And then on June 28th, 2026, at 4 p.m. PT, 7 p.m. ET, think Sunday supper, y'all. And so we would love for you to join us for a fourth Sunday, Aoife and Tanya Mark, Queer Spirit, and the People of Color Psychedelic Collective coming together for fourth Sundays, some care and community via storytelling and music.
Yes, please join us. It's going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to it.
And Ife, do you want to share with folks where they can find you and your organization?
Yes, so you can check out the POC Psychedelic Collective at www.pocpc.org. If you want to check out my personal website, it is www.ifetayo, ifetayo.me. And you can link to our social media from those websites.
Great. Well, we'll have the links for all of those, the fourth Sunday Care Circle, and all of your websites in the show notes, so people can find them there too.
We sure will, y'all. And listen, I know you might think, well, y'all didn't talk about filling our mug of cares. Yes, we did. We talked about care. We talked about community. We talked about care practices. So we want to invite all of us to continue to fill our mug of care with the tools and practices that feel aligned to us. We hope to see you in a care circle with Queer Spirit. Please do yourself a huge favor and visit Ifetayo at the locations that she mentioned, because she is very magical and the work that she is putting out there is very important for our community. We hope to see y'all soon.
And Ife, thank you for being here and sharing with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really great connecting with you guys. And I always feel like talking with y'all is a healing vibe in and of itself. So thank you.
Absolutely. And let's continue to take care of ourselves and each other.
Care Chats with Tanya, Mark, and Nick.